Total Pro Sports presents 15 Worst Quarterbacks to Win a Super Bowl. Though the Vince Lombardi Trophy is handed out to the best team in the NFL every year, it's safe to say that some players don't deserve it as much as others. The quarterback position may be the most important in football, but there are a handful of signal callers that somehow claim football's most elusive prize. The key word is somehow, because truth be told, these quarterbacks were either never that good or weren't good at the point of their careers when they won it all. Here are the 15 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. Number 15, Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger stands among the NFL's elite quarterbacks, but it wasn't the case when his Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 40 when he was a sophomore. In the big game, Big Ben threw 2 interceptions, no passing touchdowns, and only had 123 yards. It was the steel curtain that shut down Seattle's prolific offense. That year, he had a mere 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions when Seattle won it all. Number 14, Russell Wilson. Wilson is by no means a terrible quarterback, but he was not one of the best to win it all when the Seattle Seahawks won Super Bowl 48 against the Denver Broncos. It was the Seahawks defense that shut down the most prolific offense of all time, holding them to 8 points and 2 Peyton Manning interceptions. Wilson was a game manager at best in 2013. His Seahawks ran the ball and relied on the defense to win. In fact, in the 2013 playoffs, he had only 3 touchdowns. During the regular season, he had just 20 touchdowns and even 7 interceptions. Number 13, Eli Manning. Manning proved his elite status in Super Bowl 46 when the New York Giants once again defeated the New England Patriots in the big game. But in Super Bowl 42, where Manning ended the Pats' perfect season, he put up very average numbers. In the 2007 season, he had just a 56.1 completion percentage, 3,336 yards, and 23 touchdowns with 20 interceptions. Thankfully, the pass rush on the Giants' D shut down New England's record-setting offense, which helped break up Manning's magical Super Bowl winning drive. Number 12, Joe Flacco. The jury has remained out on Flacco for years as to whether or not he's been an elite quarterback. One thing is for certain, he wasn't a great quarterback in 2012 when his Baltimore Ravens won Super Bowl 47 against the San Francisco 49ers. That year he had 3,817 yards, completed just 59.7% of his passes, and had 22 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Luckily, a loaded Hall of Fame defense led by Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, and Ed Reed helped carry Flacco to the title. Number 11, Terry Bradshaw. Bradshaw is tied with the most all-time Super Bowls with 4, but you can sum it up all in 2 words: steel curtain. The Steelers' ridiculously dominant defense that no NFL team has ever come close to repeating was responsible for the 70s dynasty. Bradshaw had the perfect system and support cast to help him win, no matter what he or any Steelers fan will tell you. Number 10, Jeff Hostetler. Hostetler won Super Bowl 21 as a backup with the New York Giants. Then he had to take over for the injured Phil Simms in Super Bowl 25. Hostetler played respectable in that game, but the Giants' dominant defense, led by Lawrence Taylor, held the Buffalo Bills' offensive juggernaut to 19 points, and the G-Men won because of the infamous wide right play. Hostetler may have led the G-Men to a title, but 2,338 career passing yards and 94 touchdowns with 71 interceptions doesn't ring the sound of a great Super Bowl quarterback. Number 9, Joe Theismann. Theismann led the Washington Redskins to a Super Bowl championship, but his career stats will tell you he wasn't the reason they won. 160 career touchdowns, 138 interceptions, without a 4,000-yard season. Go to show you he just wasn't anything special. Sadly, his career ended in 1985 due to a leg injury, so he never had the chance to fully prove he was a legitimate quarterback that could carry a team on his own back. Number 8, Mark Rypien. Rypien may be another Super Bowl winner with the Redskins, but make no mistake, he was not great. The man barely completed more than half of his passes in his career. He only had 56.1% of his passes completed. 115 touchdowns and 88 interceptions isn't special either. Number 7, Jim McMahon. The Bears' starting quarterback in the 1985 big game was not even close to being the reason the Chicago Bears won their only Super Bowl. That rock-solid defense that may be the best all-time in a single season carried every ounce of the team's championship. Do 15 touchdowns and 11 picks sound like great stats? McMahon had 100 career touchdowns with 90 interceptions and only had 5 double-digit touchdown seasons in 15 seasons. Number 6. Jim Plunkett. A two-time Super Bowl quarterback with the Oakland Raiders franchise, Plunkett was a nice story after years of struggling with the New England Patriots. Plunkett's career stats were awful: 164 touchdowns and 198 interceptions. In his 2 Super Bowl winning seasons, he combined for 38 touchdowns and 34 picks. That Raiders defense carried the load, not him. Number 5. Ken Stabler. In the second ever Super Bowl matchup, the Raiders won the Super Bowl with Ken Stabler under center. Like Plunkett, it was the Raiders defense that shouldered the bulk of the title. He had just 194 career touchdowns and 222 interceptions. Stabler was solid the year the Raiders won the title, but most of his career was not all that great. Number 4. Brad Johnson. Johnson was the product of a great system implemented by head coach John Gruden, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and rushing game was all Johnson needed. His Bucs whooped the Oakland Raiders in Super Bowl 37, 48-21. Sure, the Bucs offense poured on a lot of points, but Tampa Bay's defense played lights out all season long to win it. Number 3. Doug Williams. Williams won a Super Bowl with Washington after they crushed John Elway's Denver Broncos, 42-10. You can thank the defensive effort for that one, who picked off the legendary Elway 3 times, while Washington had over 200 rushing yards of offense. Number 2. Trent Dilfer. Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens' young franchise has 2 Super Bowls and 2 very near Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Dilfer won the Super Bowl with Baltimore in his only season with the club, 12 touchdowns and 11 picks that year. He had a career completion percentage of 55.5 during his Super Bowl winning season with Baltimore. He completed less than 50% of his passes, had 590 yards and just 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. No, sir, Dilfer did not do much. Almost any quarterback could have been in Dilfer's situation to win it all. And number 1, Joe Namath. Aside from his guarantee over the Colts in Super Bowl III, which ended up becoming true, Namath did not account for much in his career. Namath had 15 touchdowns and 17 interceptions the year his Jets won the Super Bowl. He only had 133 passing yards in a Super Bowl victory. Does 173 yards and 220 picks sound like a deserved Super Bowl winner? No. But Broadway Joe delivered this. And that's it for the 15 worst quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. But wait, we're not done with you yet. In the comments below, we want to know, who do you think is the best quarterback to ever have won a Super Bowl? And for more cool videos, click subscribe.